Cool. So my name is Gediminas, and today I wanted to talk to you about programming your mind for success. Now, again, why did I decide to do this training literally, towards the end of the year? Because this is the time when you really want to work on your mindset. Ending the year strong, finishing strong, and then starting the year on a massive high. You know what unsuccessful people do in network marketing? Around this time, they mentally retire and then they come back into the business about 10th or 15th of January. They literally wipe out like 3 weeks of their business and they completely lose the momentum in their business. They completely lose track of what's what. And then they literally have to restart from the beginning. It's like, for me, the way I look at momentum, it's like pushing a car. If you've ever had to push a car, at the beginning, you just go like, all of your strength, and the car is barely moving. It's barely moving. But once you get the car moving, once you get it going, it's fairly easy, But if you let it go and the car stops to hold, then you have to start all the way from the beginning with that hard push, So if you don't, stop pushing it, then you never have to start putting that big effort ever again, So like my mentor says, Ray Higdon, he says, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. You know what I mean? So that's why I wanted to do this training, just to really work a little bit on your mindset. And maybe for some of you, this will give you some aha moments and some motivation and some ideas to work on. Okay. So, it's in this business. Let me just grab this. How can I grab this? I want to pull this to the top. Okay. So network marketing, it's not easy, but it's worth it. So it's worth it because of the career you will create. This is one of the careers where you don't get fired from, where you can't get made redundant from, etc., because it is your own business. The freedom that you enjoy, being able to travel, being financially free, the lives you touch. One of the biggest things is getting your name in somebody's testimonial. Is one day hearing somebody from the stage saying, oh my gosh, because of you, my life has changed. There's no other feeling, it's nothing like it, when you've impacted other people's lives, not just your own. It's the people you meet. I've met some of the most wonderful people in the 9 years that I've been doing network marketing that I would have never met if it wasn't for this business. The places you get to see. For me, I absolutely love traveling. And because of this business, over the last 9 years, we've been to Cyprus, Mallorca, Indonesia, Dubai, Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Russia, Ukraine, Greece, Italy, Germany, Poland, America, etc. Oh my gosh, I've seen so much because of this business. The causes you get to contribute to. You can't help the poor if you're one of them. So there's nothing wrong with you becoming wealthy. There's nothing wrong with you becoming rich, because if you do, you can help a lot of people. You can impact your church. You can impact charities. You can build orphanages. You can build schools. You can build, shelters for abused women or children, etc. There's so much you could do if only you had the resources. And this business can give you those resources. So don't look at it as, oh, I'm being selfish or anything like that, because you're not. You will be able to help a lot more people if you have access to more money. And the person you become in the process, 9 years ago when I first got it into home-based business, I heard Jim Rohn say, make a goal to become a millionaire, not for the money, but for what it makes of you to become one. Make a goal to become a millionaire, not for the money, but for what it makes of you to become one. He goes, you can give the money away if you want, but what you become is valuable. It's priceless. It's amazing. So the person you'll become in the process of this business, it's incredible. Now, there's also a thing called dream versus income cycle, and it really applies to many, many people. So first of all, we have a dream cycle, and in your dream cycle, you have your dream life. Now, I don't know what's your dream life. I don't know what you would love to have in your life. What would your dream life contain? Maybe a home, right? I put it here, $500,000. For some of you, that's not enough. For some of you, that would be okay, house, etc. A dream car. Again, I put 50,000. For some of you, that wouldn't be a dream car, right? But whatever, you get the point, right? A nice holiday every year. Maybe 10,000. Private education for your children. maybe 100,000. A holiday home somewhere. One of my goals on my goal list is a holiday home in Cyprus. And 200,000 wouldn't cut it, for the house I want. I want to see, I want to see the ocean through my window and things like that. Maybe for some of you, it's a Rolex watch. For some of you, maybe a Louis Vuitton bag. For some of you, it's some Louboutin shoes or whatever it is, right? But imagine if you put everything in your dream cycle, everything that you've ever dreamed to have in your life, what would the total be? In this case, it's 890,000. For some of you, it'd be 1 million. 1.5 million, 2 million, 3 million, whatever it is, right? So that's your dream cycle. But then there's a slight problem, the income cycle. Most people don't make a lot of money, unfortunately. An average income in UK, I don't know what it is right now, but I guess it's around 30 grand, right? Most people earn a lot less than that. Some people make more than that, but let's say an average is 30,000 a year. Now, I'm not great in maths, but I can see a problem here. If I have a dream life of 890,000, but my income is 30,000, something is not happening here. You know what I mean? And that's where a lot of people start downgrading their dreams. So first solution is shrink your dreams. And that's what most people do. Instead of living in a castle, think about when you were a small girl and you were thinking, I'm going to live in a castle, I'm going to marry a prince, right? And then the castle is being replaced by, a flat somewhere, a prince is being replaced by, all right, we're not going to get into that, right? But you know what I mean? So a lot of us, we shrink our dreams to match our little income, right? And that's what majority of people will do. They'll shrink that circle into something small. So, this will do. This flat will do instead of the dream house. This 12-year-old Toyota will do instead of my dream Ferrari. This, budget holiday to, I don't know, Devon will do instead of my dream holiday to Bahamas, and so on, right? That's one solution, and that's what most people do. I want to challenge you not to do that. Instead, I want you to go for the second solution. And the second solution, guys, increase your income. Increase your income to match your dreams instead. So instead of you settling for something, and I really loved, again, a quote that I heard from my mentor. He got it from somebody else. And that quote said, and for me, it was so deep. I just want you to listen to this closely, guys, for a minute. The minute you settle for something less than what you deserve less than what you settled for. The minute you settle for something less than what you deserve less than what you settled for. So if you're settling for things that you not what you want, then that's what you deserve. And actually, it might sound horrible, but the life right now you have is what you deserve because you've settled for it. Stretch. Say, I will not settle for it. I will change it. I will work on it. I'll work my ass off, but I will have the life I deserve, not something that I settled for. So the business mindset. You see, most people want to go from employed mindset to business owner mindset, right? They just want to become straight away a business owner. But what most people do in actual reality, they go from employed to unemployed. Just because you haven't got a job doesn't make you a full-time network marketer. Doing the business all day makes you a full-time network marketer. So I've seen so many people go, yeah, I quit my job. I'm now a full-time network marketer. And I go, well, how many people did you reach out yesterday? 3? You're not a full-time network marketer. You're just unemployed person. That's what you are, right? So for you to qualify as a full-time network marketer, you need to work like one. So if you had a job, you'd be working for 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day, or 12 hours a day. That's what you need to put in your business if you want to be full-time network marketer, honestly, right? Where you, in the evening, you can look in the mirror and say, hey, man, hey, woman, you did the work today. You did your 12 hours, you did your 10 hours, you did your 8 hours, right? So, and a lot of people, what they do in network marketing, they pretend to work, so they go, well, I got up and got dressed. That's just like working. I got in a car and I drove somewhere. That's just like working. I sat behind some desk and that's just like work. So they pretend to work all day. So ask yourself a question. Do I pretend work? Do I fake work? Or do you actually work? Because you know what's working is. In network marketing, the only time when you're working is when you're talking to somebody who can say yes and join your business, or you're talking to somebody who can say yes and buy your product. That's the only time when you're actually working. Or number 3 is you helping your team member to recruit somebody. That's it, guys. That's the only time when you're actually working. Now, so is personal development not important? Yes, it is. But that's not major. That's minor, right? Oh, does watching Gediminas is live important? Yes, it is. But that's minor. It's not major. You know what I mean? Most important is speaking to people, right? So, like, I love how Brian Carruthers does it. He splits the page in 4 parts, and it has 4 quarters, right? 25% of your time should go to speaking to new people, asking new people to take a look at your business. Second 25% of your time should be following up with people who you sent some information about your business. Third 25% of your time should be spent you helping your team members recruit somebody into the business. And the last 25% of the time is for everything else. That's personal development, that's reading the catalog, that's memorizing the ingredients, that's doing all of the other stuff. So 75% of your time should be spent talking to people who will join the business. That's it. That's how you make money in this business, right? Also, are you selling big business benefits with small business efforts? I've seen it so many times people do that. They go, hey, in our business, look at this woman. She's making $50,000 a month. You could do that. And you don't need to work. You don't need to recruit. You don't need to sell. You can do whenever you feel like it. Now, these two don't match up. Now, can you just take it easy in this business and just work whenever you feel like it? Totally. But then your income will be pretty small. Or can you make huge income? Totally. But then your effort needs to match that. So you can't be selling big business benefits like making millions with small business efforts saying, hey, you can just do it whenever you feel like it. Doesn't work like that. Serious money requires serious investment. So what you have to wrap your brain around is that traditional business, you need to invest money to make more money. So if you were starting a franchise, for example, let's say McDonald's franchise, it would set you back from about £500,000 to about £1 million. That's what it would cost you to get started in a business, right? Now, fortunately, in network marketing, you don't have to spend that money. And unfortunately, in network marketing, you don't have to spend that money. Why do I say unfortunately? Because a lot of people, because they didn't have to spend £500,000 to get started in this business, they don't take it seriously. But you see, instead of investing money in network marketing, what you have to invest is what we call sweat equity. It's your time and effort. So same way how you would have to invest £500,000 to have a successful restaurant, in network marketing, you have to invest £500,000 of effort to have a successful network marketing business. Are you prepared to do that? Are you prepared to put in £500,000 of work, of time, sweat, tears, blood, everything in order to get this work? If you are, you're going to have a successful business. But if you don't want to invest time and you don't want to invest money, then it ain't going to work for you, because you can't have a traditional business then or network marketing business, because one or the other, you have to choose. You're either investing money or you're investing your time and effort. Okay, now this is really, really important for you to wrap your brain around. Otherwise, you will quit this business. You're not going to get to the success land. You're not going to get to the passive income. You're not going to get to making big money if you don't understand this. So it's called progression in business. You see, when you start in network marketing, you're putting full-time effort into business, but you're making part-time income. So it seems, at this stage, it seems like, oh my God, I'm wasting my time with this thing. Oh my God, I'm putting so much time and effort and it's not even paying me that much. It's like, it's not worth my time, right? If I was working, for £15 an hour in a job, I would be making a lot more money than I'm doing this bloody business, from home. But what you don't understand, that at this stage, it's called an investment. So you're investing time and effort, but you're not making much money, but you're investing the time to build up your business. Second stage is when you're putting full-time effort and now you start being paid full-time income. This is the stage which we call break even, right? So some of you, this will be second, third month. Some of you, this will be seventh or sixth month. For some of you, it may take a year to get to this stage where you're making 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 a month, which is to replace your full-time income. So now you're putting full-time effort into your business and you're getting full-time income. That's break even. Third stage. And by the way, this is where it would end in a traditional job. In a traditional job, you put in full-time effort, you get paid full-time income. That's it. It ends there. You will have to work full-time for the rest of your life. Not in network marketing. Third stage. Third stage is part-time income, part-time effort, full-time income. This is what we call growth stage or progress stage. So now you're working less, but you're still being paid full-time income. That would never happen in your job. You could never go to your boss and go, could I, from next month, could I start working part-time and you still keep paying me full-time salary, please? Right? That would never work, right? They would never do that for you. Sorry, guys. Got a bit cold. Right? So that's third stage. But my favorite is fourth stage. When you're putting some time effort, when you're working when you feel like it, and you get full-time income plus some. You get extraordinary income. So like me and Sarah and my beautiful wife, Rita, and Irina, and a bunch of other leaders, we just got back from Las Vegas. We seen people on the stage. We saw a couple on the stage who last year made about $3 million each. A couple. $3 million each. That's a $6 million combined family income from network marketing. Do you think they're putting in that many hours to earn that much money? Like, it would be impossible to work that many hours, right? You know what I mean? If you're getting paid 50 pounds an hour, you could work 24/7. You couldn't make that type of money. So that means they're working some time, they're working very little compared to the money they're receiving. They're receiving 100 times what they actually work now. But it took them time to get to that stage, right? So at some point, they were putting more work than they were getting paid, right? It's just the way it works, guys. So this is like a graph to illustrate that. You know, at the beginning, you haven't got much money, but you're putting in a lot of time, right? And that's what we call pain stage, right? That's when, you know, like, oh my gosh, I'm putting so much work, but there's not much money coming in. But then you go through that line, which is break-even point, when you start making some money, and that's what we call the pleasure, right? That's when you start making more than you're putting in for. But that's infinite. It can keep going and growing and growing and growing, where your income keeps growing, but your amount of time you're putting in reduces. So it's very important to wrap your brain around it. Now, let me ask you a question. Are you a salesperson? Now, I know they did these statistics, and they found that like 9 out of 10 people would not like to be a salesperson, you know, or they have a fear of selling something to somebody, right? And then about 7 out of 10 people are scared of death. That means 2 out of 10 people would rather die than sell something, right? So some of you might have preconceptions about sales and being a salesperson, and you might be thinking, oh, you know, being a salesperson, selling something means you have to be sleazy, you have to be, you know, manipulating people, you have to be tricking people, and all sorts of that, which is complete nonsense. If you think about it, you're always selling. You're always selling in business. You're either selling yourself, or you're selling your product, or you're selling your business. So you better get used to the fact that you are a salesperson. And actually, without somebody selling something, nothing moves in this world. No factory producing anything unless somebody's selling that thing. No lorry is driving anywhere unless somebody sold something. So it's the whole world runs on sales, by the way. But you have to understand that there's nothing, all of that bad connotation is just, again, it's just a Hollywood. It's just all of that sort of dogma thing. If you think about it, I love what Zig Ziglar says. Selling is essentially a transfer of feeling. That's all it is, guys. Selling is just a transfer of feeling. What does it even mean? What it means, if I make you feel the way I feel about this product, you're going to buy this product. If I make you feel the way I feel about this business, you're going to buy this business. So guess what? It's all about emotion. It's all about the feeling. It's all about you transferring your feelings to somebody else. So get passionate about it. Get fired up about it. You know, I've seen so many people who do a perfect presentation and they struggle to recruit. And then I've seen brand new people who are like headless chickens running around, ignorance on fire, etc. And they're recruiting like hell. Why? It's emotion, guys. It's the feeling, it's the passion, right? People listening to them, they go, I don't understand what she's saying, but I want her in, you know, because she's on fire, right? She's going somewhere, right? So they say if you get on fire, people will come from miles away to see you burn. You know, so it's very true. You know, get that feeling, get passionate about what you've got to offer. You know what I mean? And, you know, next thing is developing the winning attitude. And for me, when it comes to developing winning attitude, there's two people I always quote. One is Tom Big Al Schreiter. He was the very first person that I started learning from about network marketing and about talking to people, the power of words. If you've never heard of this guy, Google him, get some of his books, get some of his stuff. He's a legend, right? And what I loved about is when I read, when I actually met Big Al for the first time, I remember him telling a story. And he said that him and his wife, when they first got started in network marketing, for the first 1 year and 10 months, 1 year and 10 months, they couldn't recruit anybody and they couldn't sell any products. 1 year and 10 months. But they kept at it. They kept at it, you know, and they started learning and they started studying and started reading books. And finally, they had the breakthrough. They became super successful. They became $1 million earners. They went on to open their own network marketing company eventually. Very wealthy, very successful. And then years later, somebody approached them and said, guys, but you were so unsuccessful the first 1 year and 10 months. Why didn't you not quit? Why didn't you give up? And you know what they said? They said, we didn't know we can quit. We didn't know we could quit. We didn't know that was an option. We thought we have to succeed. You know what I mean? That's winning attitude. If you have that type of attitude, nobody can stop you. You know, me and my wife Rita, when we first got started in network marketing, we made our vision board. You know, where you stick your dream house, dream car, dream this, dream that. You know, the first thing we stuck to our dream board was a little note. And on that note, my wife wrote, only losers give up. And we stuck that note. And we would see it every single day. Every morning when we would get up, we would see the vision board on the wall and the little note stuck to it saying, only losers give up. And we knew we were not losers. So we would not give up. Doesn't matter how many challenges we would have. Doesn't matter how many difficulties we would have. We would just not give up. The second person that I like to quote is Julius Erving, or how they used to call it, Dr. J. He was, I think, the first person in basketball to be paid over $1 million for a year, right? And when they asked him, they said, well, what's your success? What's your key to success? Why are you such a great basketball player? Why are you so high paid? Why are you so desired, etc.? He said, simple as that. He said, I demand more of myself than anyone else could ever expect. I demand more of myself than anyone else could ever expect. You see, most people go through life doing part of what other people ask of them, what other people demand of them, what other people accept. They do some of that. Successful people do more than other people expect of them all the time, consistently. And this way people go, oh my gosh, this person is amazing. This person is incredible, right? Because they always do more than I ask them to. You know what I mean? That's, again, the winning attitude, guys. Believing in your potential is so, so important. Nobody is better than you. They're just doing things you're not doing yet, or they're doing more of them. Never question your ability, but question your performance daily. Never question your ability. Never go, oh, I don't know if I can do this. Oh, I don't know if I'm good enough. Oh, I don't know if I'm smart enough. You're not allowed to do that, because the answer is always you are good enough, you're always smart enough, etc. So never question your ability, but question your performance on a daily basis. Have I sent enough messages today? Have I called enough people today? Have I followed up with enough people today? Have I put enough time and effort into my business today? You should be questioning that on a daily basis, but not your ability. So what is your why factor? You know, the why factor is the reason why you should become successful. Because you see, if your why is small, if your why is like, yeah, would it be nice to make some extra income? Would it be nice to get some extra money? Then the how will become huge. all the excuses, all the reasons why you can't succeed, it'll become massive. Like, oh my gosh, but this is like, oh, it's so difficult. Oh, it's so out of comfort zone. Like, you'll find all the reasons why not to do it, because your why, your reason to succeed is so small. But you see, if you change it, if your why becomes so big, if your reason to succeed becomes so huge, then the how doesn't even matter. You'll go through the brick wall to do it. You'll go through fire to do it. You'll do anything. You know, have you ever heard those stories in the news where a child gets under the car and the mother lifts the car in an accident? Like that, normally a woman would not be able to lift the entire car on her own, right? But when it's the question of her baby's life, she, you know, the human laws don't no longer apply to her. She just goes and does it. Why? Because the why is so huge, she doesn't go, oh, you know, but if I try to lift this car, will I not pull my back? Oh, but this car is so heavy. No, she doesn't look for reasons to fail. She doesn't look for excuses. She just goes and does it, right? Because the why is so big. The reason why some of you are not crushing in business, the reason why some of you are not succeeding in business is because your why is too small. Your reason to succeed is too small. It's not big enough. You're not hungry enough. You're not fired up enough about changing your life. So maybe think up some more goals. Think of more reasons for you to succeed. Think of more lives that you could impact. Think of more causes that are waiting for you to succeed, for you to be able to contribute to those causes, for you to be able to donate money so those causes can succeed. You know, you need some motivation in your life, and that comes from inside. So make a decision. What sort of life you want to live? Do you want a life that is first class, like this? You know, do you want to see that when you're flying? Or do you want second class? Or do you want to live a life of no class at all? You know, and too many people living that type of life, right? So ask yourself which, you know, what type of life you want to take. What type of life you're going to live, right? Are you going to settle, or are you going to go to achieve what you deserve? So key to failure and success. If I could teach you one lesson about failure and success, this would be: key to failure is small errors in judgment repeated every day. That's key to failure. Small errors in judgment repeated every day. Key to success, small disciplines practiced every day. Small disciplines practiced every day. You see, when it starts here on the left side, it looks like there's no difference. You guys watch this training now, and somebody you know is watching, you know, some TV series on Netflix and having a beer. Now, how much difference between your lives right now will be because that person is on Netflix and you're watching this training? Not much difference. So it may look like, oh, there's no difference. So why attend the training if I can have a beer and watch Netflix at the same time? The life didn't change anyway, so I might as well carry on with that. Or, you know, have a cigarette. If you have a cigarette right now, will you die? No, you'll be fine. So it looks like it's okay. You have a, you know, burger, you know, greasy burger with some greasy chips and some Coca-Cola with 17 spoons of sugar in it, right? Do you die right away? Do you get obese right away? No. But if you repeat those small errors in judgment, bad food, bad food, bad food, cigarette, 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 alcohol, 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 not attending training, not attending training, over time, it will lead you down to failure. It will lead you down to disease. It will lead you down to bad things. But if you do the small disciplines, you know, you have a healthy meal, you run around in the morning, you attend a training. It doesn't make that much difference when you do it at the time, but over time, it will compound to where it one day leads you to success. So use those laws and make them work for you. So you see, success or failure doesn't occur instantly. If it did, it would be helpful. You know, if you had a cigarette and had a lung cancer right away, it'd be helpful because nobody would have cigarettes. You know, if you had a burger and chips and you know, had a heart attack right away, it'd be helpful because nobody would be doing it, you know. But because it doesn't happen, we keep doing it until, you know, we're down the path. So change the perspective. You know, you can have everything that you want in life if you just help enough other people to get what they want in life. You know, this business is not about you. If right now you feel fear of rejection, you feel fear of failure, you feel embarrassed to speak to people about your business, you feel embarrassed about popping the question, hey, not sure if this is for you or not, but I'm just curious, would you be open to take a look at my business? And if no, no big deal. If you feel scared to send a message like that to somebody, it's because you're selfish. You're selfish because you're thinking just about yourself. You're thinking, oh, what if they reject me? What if they laugh at me? What if they say something bad? Because you're being selfish. You're thinking about yourself. You're not thinking, what if they need this opportunity in life? What if this opportunity could change their life forever? What if this opportunity could put more food on the table so they can feed their kids better? What if this opportunity could give them more money so they can take their kids to Disneyland? Change your mindset. It's not about you. This business is not about you. It's about helping other people. If you just help enough people to get what they want, you will get everything you want in your life. All of your dreams will come true. But you have to stop thinking about yourself. Every time you feel scared, every time you feel embarrassed, every time you don't want to speak out to somebody, you don't want to send that message, you don't want to do that communication, is when you're being selfish. Is when you're only thinking about yourself instead of thinking how you could impact that other person's life. So do the you appeal. How can I help you? How can I support you? How can I change your life? Okay, so becoming a millionaire. Decide to become a millionaire, not for the money, but for what it makes of you to become one. In order to have something you've never had, you'll have to become someone or do something you've never done. You see, a lot of people say, oh, I've got 10 years experience in this. I've been doing this for 10. And I go, no. You have 1 year's experience repeated 10 times. So too many people are doing the same thing over and over again, and they're surprised why their life is not changing. You see, insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. So if what you've been doing up until now didn't work, maybe network marketing is the answer. Maybe doing this business is the answer that could change your life. But if you don't take it seriously, then it can't. Then your life cannot change. So 2 keys to accomplishing anything. First, wise use of all of your resources. You have a lot of resources. You have a lot of help. You have a lot of support. You have a lot of trainings. You have a lot of books. You have Google, for God's sake. I was visiting my grandfather, and he loves doing crossword puzzles, right? He loves doing crosswords. And I remember when I was a kid, I would visit him, and he would always be doing crossword puzzles. But you know how he would do it? Like when he was looking for a word, you know what he would have to do? He had this bookshelf with encyclopedias from A to Z. And he would go and through encyclopedias, trying to find a word that would answer the puzzle. You know what I mean? How time consuming that was. How difficult it was to find information. Now you can go on Google and go, how to upload picture in my cover photo, how to record a video, how to do a screenshot, how to do a YouTube live, how to do, literally you can Google everything. You just have to be willing to use the resources that are available to you. And second key to accomplishing is full development of all of your potential. So many of you, you're not going 100%. You're using just a tiny proportion of your potential. Ask yourself, have I ever in my life went 100%? All out action for the next 30 days, for the next 90 days, full acceleration. Because it's like that aeroplane. If you just put 10, 20%, the aeroplane is not going to go off the ground. It's going to hit the trees at the end of the runway. That's what's going to happen with you and your success if you don't put 100% and get that lift off. So get that potential and learn from the nature. Think about it. How tall would a tree grow? How tall would a tree grow? As tall as it can. A tree doesn't grow half the height and go, I don't feel like it. I had enough. It wouldn't do that. It'd grow as high as it can. How big would a fish grow in the water? How big would it grow? If it had all the food and all the resources, it'd grow as big as it can. But humans are the only creatures on this earth that has been given the dignity of choice. And unfortunately, so many humans chooses not to go all out, chooses not to grow to their full potential. So has the world seen the best of you, or have you got more inside of you that you can give? Are you a contender or are you a pretender? Are you going for this, Or are you just like saying the nice things? Why not you? Ask yourself. Why not you? Why couldn't you be the person making $1 million in network marketing a year? Why couldn't be the person living in a dream house, a castle, that people walk in and go, is this a house or is this a hotel lobby? You know what I mean? Why couldn't you drive that car that everybody turns to see? Why not? Because when I ask you that question, you'll have a story in your head, and whatever that story is, it's not true, because you could have it, right? It's belief, commitment, and hard work. That's all. Learning, applying, learning, applying, learning, applying. Excellence is a result of always striving to be better. That's what excellence is. Always trying to be better. Every day trying to, can I be a little bit better today? Can I be a little bit better? Can I be, not comparing yourself to other people, but comparing yourself with yesterday's version of you. That's what it's all about. So unleash your potential. The secret is not about getting ahead of other people, but it's ahead of ourselves. We can either look for reasons to succeed, or we can look for excuses. And if you look for excuse, you're always going to find one you like. But where focus goes, that's where energy flows. So if you'll focus on all the reasons why you can't succeed, your energy will go there. If you focus on all the reasons why you have to succeed, then your energy will go there too. Hard work is not another name for talent. It's the best possible substitute for it. Hard work beats talent every single day, right? So don't worry if you're not a natural speaker. I wasn't. Don't worry if you're not a natural trainer. I wasn't. Don't worry if you're not a natural salesperson. I wasn't. You get the point, right? I wasn't good at anything. I wasn't good at recruiting. I wasn't good at selling. I wasn't good at speaking. I wasn't good at recruiting. I was not good at anything, but I was willing to work hard. I was willing to learn it. I was willing to practice and fail forward until I get the result, until I get better at it. But you see, not reaching your full potential is like buying a Ferrari and driving it at 40 miles an hour. It's not fun. That's not what the car is meant for. If you buy a Ferrari, you want to push it. You want to put the foot on the gas, right? Well, that's how your life is. If you're not going for your full potential, you're not using all the gifts that God given you, then you're driving that Ferrari at 40 miles an hour. You were born a champion. You were born a winner. So why you choose the life of a loser? It doesn't make sense. Decide what you want and go for it with everything you got in you. That's what it takes, guys, to succeed. And learn. Humans are the only ones that have been given the dignity of choice, and many choose not to succeed. Learn from the nature. You need to choose to succeed. So the difference between ordinary and extraordinary is just that little word extra. Going that extra mile. And it's never crowded. Extra mile is never crowded. So go the extra mile. And what I mean by that is not like day and night. It's like speaking to 2-3 people more. He's sending 10 messages more. He's doing one more call. He's doing one more something, selling one more product at the end of the day. He's just doing a little bit more than everybody else. And that will take you to that extraordinary. So build the foundation for your business. Work hard on yourself than you do on yourself. Work hard on yourself than you do on your job. You being on this call and you investing in yourself, that's already telling me a lot about you. To earn more, you must learn more. Sometimes, they say the thinking that got you to the problem, the same thinking cannot get you out of that problem. You need to change the thinking. You need to get new ideas into your head. So plan ahead. Failing to plan is planning to fail. We've got a big month end ahead of us, and then we have incredible next year ahead of us. Are you planning for it? Or are you just going with the flow? Are you just hoping that it works out? Success doesn't happen by chance or by mistake. It happens on purpose, guys. So you don't have to reinvent a wheel. All you have to be is a good copy. And you've got really great examples in front of you. You have really great team leaders here. All you have to do is just copy what they're telling you to do. You just copy what the system is already saying you to do. To be a good leader, you first have to be a good follower. Obstacles will always be around, but the only time when you see obstacles is when you take your eyes off the goal. When you take your eyes off the goal, that's when you see the obstacle. But when you're focused on your goal, when you're focused on your mission, the obstacles are irrelevant. They're not important. If you look for excuse, you'll find one you like. You know, you can always find an excuse for anything. But the key is to focus on what you want to get instead of focusing on what you don't want to get. So upgrade yourself. You know, you're constantly upgrading your phone, your laptop, your TV, you know, your car. But when was the last time you upgraded you? What version of you am I seeing when I'm looking at you? Am I seeing the 2.0 or 3.0, or are you still running the beta version? Are you still running the analog? You know, are you still the, you know, like whatever? Personal development leads to increased value in the marketplace. So as you work in your business, grow yourself. As you work in your business, grow yourself. The only way to grow your business is through growing yourself. Successful people don't even know if the car radio works because they're always on a positive mental diet. They're always listening to positive stuff. They're not even listening to news and things like that. Okay? So that's a bit of a mindset work for you guys. I hope this was useful. And before we wrap up, just again, one more reminder. Me and Sierra, we're running this blitz. We're running this intense thing.